As the internet continues to connect the world and spread media internationally, sometimes things have to be changed due to international markets. And popular video games like League of Legends are no strangers to being censored for certain audiences. Like, some countries don't want blood in their games. Some countries don't want scantily dressed women. And above all, some countries don't want their people to play video games altogether. Today we take a look at some of the weird ways the game has been censored around the world. But at least you can pretend to be in any country you want with the sponsor of today's video, NordVPN. It goes without saying that a VPN encrypts your data and keeps you all around safer on the internet. But on top of that, content online is constantly being region blocked for all sorts of reasons, like videos, entire websites, and even the predictions feature on Twitch. For some reason, some countries aren't allowed to use this. So a VPN is a useful tool to have. And what I like about NordVPN is that it's super straightforward. Log in, click the country you want to be in, and done. Nord's out of your way and you're free to watch whatever weird video you were looking for. Or just Rick and Morty on Netflix. Currently you can get a 2-year plan of NordVPN for 73% off, plus an entire 4 months for free, just by signing up with my link in the description. And if you're not sure about it, you can try it out with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So with that being said, check out NordVPN and let's jump into the video. Female characters showing too much skin is bad, said some government somewhere. The most common form of censorship that occurs in media is usually some sort of desexualization. Pretty common with cartoons, games, or toys that would be consumed by a younger audience. And when it comes to League, Riot has had to censor some of their splash arts to appease certain regions in the past. However, when globally releasing their mobile version of the game, Wild Rift, they decided to go back and give most of their female champions more clothing. The changes are on the screen right now, so you can play a little bit of find the difference there, but basically they're just covering up cleavage and anything else they thought was too revealing. Some of these are understandable. Like, alright, yeah, Jaina's pretty much naked. But was it really necessary to cover up 2 more inches of Ahri's thighs? And I don't think Jinx was really revealing too much to begin with, but they still adjusted her by adding these wraps underneath her top. Additionally, Riot made other changes to the game in order to comply with age restriction rules in other countries. For example, some countries are totally cool with your game being about literally killing others, but they do not like depictions of blood or skulls. This has been a thing for a while, but notably in Wild Rift, the champion Thresh, who is literally a skeletal figure, is actually replaced with his unbound skin, which represents him as more of a human character to bypass this issue. Truthfully, not a big deal, but an interesting workaround to already strange rules. Moving on, sometimes the entire game's existence is blocked off to certain countries. In this case, back in 2019, the US government put sanctions on Iran and Syria. And oddly enough, this included preventing them access to League of Legends. However, this may ring a bell to you as this story came out in June of 2019. So when making this video, I went to see if this was still an issue, and unfortunately it is. I received comments in the past year from players in that region saying that their accounts were banned simply due to where they were playing from. This comment states that they repeatedly emailed Riot to resolve this issue, and Riot only sent them the same reply over and over again. And although they didn't specify, I found this tweet from another Iranian player who emailed Riot for a completely different issue, but the system instead caught that they were playing from Iran, banned them, and sent this message. Due to US laws and regulations, players in your country cannot access League of Legends at this time. Such restrictions are subject to change by the US government. So if and when that happens, we look forward to having you back on the Rift. Which is weird because this is the message that players would receive if they logged into the game from Iran when the game was originally banned. So I'm assuming Riot set up this automated message to be sent to emails coming from Iranian players. And as unfair as it may seem, when it comes to actual international politics, a company just has to follow the rules. In this case, the sanctions restrict US companies from doing any business with these countries. And I mean, it does suck to be unable to play your favorite game due to weird politics, but maybe it's a sign. Stop playing this game. It's not good for you. Sticking to a similar situation, earlier this year, Riot celebrated Pride with their own in-game Pride event. However, not every country is as accepting of LGBT communities as other countries. Notably, Turkey's server had a different spin on this situation. They still ran the same event, but instead of naming it anything to do with Pride, they called it the Color Festival. An event which celebrates the different colors of spring. Close enough. Now, Turkey wasn't alone in doing this. This was the solution for most servers that host countries which may not be the most open to LGBTQ communities. The Russian server and Korean servers did the same thing. But still, although they didn't use any specific words to support LGBT, they still gave players the options to get the icons and home guard animations, which obviously represented Pride whether they explicitly labeled them as such or not. Now, things could be worse. Sometimes countries go out of their way to block certain content. A couple years ago, Russia prevented access to an Overwatch comic because it showed Tracer kissing another girl. The reason for this was because Russia has a law against gay propaganda toward people under the age of 18. And with Overwatch being rated teen, that content would have technically never been approved within the game to begin with. However, it wasn't in the game. It was on a separate website that if you visited it from a Russian connection, you'd get a message that says, "In accordance with Russian legislation, we are unable to share this comic with our players in Russia." But alright, finishing the video off with this last thing, this is definitely one of the weirder ones. In the past couple years, Riot has renamed certain skins due to being offensive or some other feedback. Just recently, in the year 2019, Riot changed the name of all of the Mafia skins due to what they called cultural insensitivity. A Riot employee said, quote, "It was a request from Italian players who didn't feel great about the term Mafia." They even doubled down on this statement by later reassuring that this was a necessary change. So in change, all of the Mafia skins are now called Crime City skins. They also took the opportunity to change Gangster Twitch's name to Crime City Twitch as well. However, most interesting is the comments from Italian players who were basically all saying that they would never find the term Mafia offensive. Additionally, some comments were poking fun at how if this term was insensitive, then maybe the Viking skin references should be relooked at as well. Or the Gragas Hillbilly skin.
I'm deeply offended as an American by Hillbilly Gragas. I don't like these high noon skins. Sincerely. Guy from Texas. I feel deeply offended as a Spaniard by Matador Alistar. Bullfighting is something frowned upon, and we do not wish to have it be related by one of your skins.
And this Irish user commented,
"I'm Irish and I find Leprechaun Vagar offensive. I demand you remove it."
I paid someone $15 on Fiverr to say that. Now, it's not the first time they changed skin names, but it's the first time they themselves say that the change was due to cultural insensitivities. But at least they didn't remove the police skins when an employee from Cloud9 called players racist for using the police Volibear skin. For context, this was around the time of the BLM protest that happened in 2020. For some reason, the Cloud9 operations manager genuinely believed that players were trying to make fun of the ongoing situations by purposely playing with the police Volibear skin, when that was obviously not the case. Just a very weird accusation to make. But alright guys, thank you for watching this video. As always, subscribe if you haven't already. I know most of you haven't. But either way, I'll see you again next week or the week after that. Take care.